So that's an excellent tip. So thank you very much, Mark, for that idea. And you can find him at masonworld.com, where, again, he talks about his journey of putting together an internet business while being a full-time employed person with a family. All right. Number 5. I guess let's review real quick. Number 1 was hacking the overwhelm. Number 2 was finding a mastermind and a mentor. Number 3 was focus your learning. Number 4 was plan, budget, and use your time very deliberately. Number 5 is duplicate yourself. And simply what we mean there is to hire a virtual assistant. You know, if you're having a hard time finding all the time to do all the things that you need to do, well, you know what? There's a good chance that 50, 60, 80% of what you're trying to do, you don't have to do. And, the great thing is you can hire a full-time virtual assistant for very, very little money. And it is one of the best investments that you can make in your business. I mean, now when somebody asks me, okay, what is the best thing I can do right now to get as quickly as possible to where you're at? And what I tell them to do is I say, sign up for the academy and go to getreplacemyself.com and learn how to hire a VA. Boom, there you go.
Yeah, that's me too.
So,
2 things. Boom. That's it.
2 things. So,
and you can take action on both of those in about 10 minutes.
Yep. No, obviously there's, a bit of a time and a money investment there, but it's like, how badly do you want to get to where you're going? And, duplicating myself is something I wish I had done a lot earlier. And, you heard us talk earlier about how we're working less and making more money. Well, there you go. It's because we duplicated ourselves. We went to getreplacemyself.com and learned everything that our friend John Jonas had to teach about how he goes and hires full-time virtual assistants in the Philippines for only a few $100s a month. And you might be thinking, oh, well, where am I going to get the money for that? Well, you can always split it with 2 or 3 people if you want. So, there's a lot to think about there. You got to find a way to make it happen. How can I afford it is a very powerful question. All right, number 6, just take action. A lot of times people are getting overwhelmed because they're, I understand. And I get into this sometimes too. I mean, we've been there. We know, well, if I take action, that's where something might go wrong. That's where maybe it doesn't work. That's where maybe, I've wasted some time or money. That's where, I don't want to have to think about what if it doesn't work. Or, maybe you're just, if you're constantly in information gathering mode, which there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, each of us went through a phase of that. And I think in the beginning, you do dive into a phase of that. You go out and you learn as much as you can about something, but it's got to be limited. I mean, within a week, 2, a month, you got to then just start acting. There's no one secret sauce. I mean, if there is one secret sauce, it's massive action. There you go. I mean, that's the secret sauce. Yeah. Go to bat now. Go to bat often. And I mean, if there's one thing we hear all the time, in fact, I saw a tweet just yesterday from one of our academy students, Pat, and he said, you know what? If there's one thing I wish I had done in my life differently, it would be to get started on my internet business earlier, to have joined the academy and got started earlier. So just take action. I mean, that's one of the best cures for overwhelm. All right, number 7, and this is, earlier today we put out to Twitter just asking people, what do you do to overcome overwhelm? And this is the bulk of the tweets that came back were stuff like this, I'll break it down with a mind map. I just find out what is the one next thing I need to do. I pick small, manageable goals. So those are the kind of answers, and those are good things. We've talked about Getting Things Done, the book by David Allen. I mean, if there's one of the most powerful things I know I learned from that book was just the idea of next actions. A project or something that you want to complete or get to, it's just a series of next actions. And the only thing you need to worry about right now, if it's launching my site, okay, well, what's the one next action? Don't think about launching your site all at once. Like, okay, I need to get WordPress and a designer, and I'm going to have to find a logo and choose the color scheme, and I'm going to have to make sure that WordPress is all configured. I mean, that's overwhelming. Well, what's the one next action you need to find? Well, maybe the one next action is just to find 4 examples of sites that you like so you have an idea of what you want it to look like. Maybe that's it. That's the one next action. And this should be something that just takes 20 to 30 minutes. So when you sit down to work, just ask yourself, what's the one next action? Don't be thinking about the whole thing at once. And like we said, we've got a video about getting things done and how we use that. If you go back to the show notes for episode 69, you'll find a link to that. So, pick those small manageable things. I mean, you always want to feel challenged. And if your small bite-sized goals aren't challenging or inspiring or motivating you, then obviously they need to be bigger. But just because you get an email or see somebody bragging about how they just made $100,000 in their first month doesn't mean that needs to be your first goal. Okay, maybe your first goal is just to make my first $100 online. Maybe it's to make your first $5 online. I mean, I love in the academy recently, I saw one of our academy members launch a challenge to everybody and said, okay, let's see who can make $25 the fastest starting from scratch. $25. That's it. Just something small and manageable starting today, throwing an idea out there. Let's see how we can get to $25. And it's amazing to see everybody jump on that and go, oh, this is so cool. This is fun. It's just a small, bite-sized, manageable thing. But there's two reasons why that's such a cool idea. Number one, it's manageable. And number two, everybody likes a little friendly competition. So break things down into very small, manageable next actions. All right, so there's 7 ideas for hacking the overwhelm, for overcoming paralysis, so what we call paralysis of analysis, sometimes people call it. Number 1, create your definite major purpose, refer to it often. Number 2, find a mastermind and a mentor. Number 3, focus your learning. Number 4, plan, budget, and use your time very deliberately. Number 5, duplicate yourself. Number 6, just take action. And number 7, break things down. So I think if you take any one of those ideas, you'll definitely see an improvement. And, like I said, a lot of this was pulled from asking our students and looking at what's worked for them. So, these are proven ideas. They've worked for us. They've worked for our students. So we'd love to, have you put them in action and let us know how they work for you. I mean, by all means, come back to the blog or call in on the comment line and let us know, what are your ideas for hacking the overwhelm? What are things maybe we didn't mention? Or let us know how one of these ideas works for you.
All right, now we've got a quick announcement and a breakthrough. And the announcement is actually a reminder that we have a new call-in comment line, and that is 877-877-7507. Go ahead and call in. Give us any comments or questions or any of that kind of stuff. We'd love to hear it on the new comment line. Again, it is 877-877-7507.
And we'll play on the show. How cool is that?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, we got a great breakthrough for this episode. This comes from the Internet Business Mastery Academy Mastermind Forums from Josh Nankivell. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I don't know what it is. Why do we have all these tough names in the Academy?
I know. Why can't it be Josh
Yeah,
Smith?
It's like,
we
come
need
on. A Smith or a Woods or a Johnson or something like that. All right, here's what Josh has had to say about his breakthrough this month. He said, "Hello, I started around March. There was a little monetization before then, but I wasn't serious about it. Right now, all my income is coming from selling ads and some affiliate sales. I've been using this as a testing bed for my own product and getting feedback from my lists via surveys to figure out exactly what products and format to use." And then he delineates the breakthroughs he had this month. He said, "I had a 5-fold increase in my Aweber list opt-ins, all from the same website. I doubled my income from April, expect to double it again for June, had about $600 in May. I created several free lists with valuable information and just did an ebook for one of the lists, which is also free. I'm getting lots of great feedback from people about how much they appreciate the information I'm giving them." So, this is awesome. And going back to what we just said earlier, about taking action, about breaking things down, about, it's just consistently working on your business. It's going to happen in steps, but these are amazing things. 5-fold increase in Aweber list opt-ins and, doubling his income from month to month, even if it's, 600 now, and then he expects it to double up to 1,200 next month. That's great milestones right there. We got to where we were by, the same kind of thing. The income we have now was built in increments. And yeah, sometimes you have those big hits and things like that can happen. And that's, an awesome thing as well. But, these are just very manageable steps. And so it's very cool to hear about these different breakthroughs, and those are absolutely going to lead to success. He's doing all the steps, all the right things, finding out what increasing his income bit by bit, finding out what his list wants, and preparing to give it to them. And I imagine when he gets to that point, he's gonna more than double his income from one month to the next. So